Hello children, good morning everyone. Hope all of you are fit and fine, well and hearty, pretty well by the blessing of God during this lockdown period. Today we'll start the fourth chapter, that is the second phase of Indian national movement. And remember children, whatever the reduced syllabus is there, accordingly I will teach you, and accordingly you have to prepare your notes. No need to do the whole exercise of your chapter. Only the numbers which are related to the reduced syllabus, accordingly you have to solve all the questions. So here in this chapter, your syllabus is first the causes of partition of Bengal, then thereafter the perspective of nationalist, then you are having the objectives and methods of assertive nationalist, then two contribution of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Lala Lajpat Rai. This one is the syllabus of your chapter 4. Accordingly, I will explain you. First of all, causes of partition of Bengal. What are the causes of partition of Bengal? The causes of partition of Bengals. First of all, during that time, Bengal was one of the largest province of India, having a huge population of above 80 millions people, comprising of Bengali Hindus and Bengali Muslims. However, Lord Curzon, who was the real culprit of the partition of Bengal, who decided to do the partitions, and his argument was that it was a good province and it was difficult for him to administer properly, efficiently, as it was a big province and it was not at all possible for a single provincial administration to run the administration. This is the argument of Lord Curzon. However, the real motives behind the partition of Bengal were: number one, to stop the rising tide of nationalism, as Bengal was the north center of Indian nationalism. Secondly, to curb Bengali influence within Bengal and to reduce them to a minority section of people. Within Bengal, Bengalis should be the minorities. That was the real motive of Lord Curzon. And thirdly, to divide the Hindus and the Muslims, to curb. So these are the three prime causes, real motives behind the partition of Bengal. He wanted to divide Bengal into East Bengal and West Bengal. Eastern Bengal and Assam, which would be comprised of Eastern district of Bengal, and Western Bengal, that is Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. In this way he wanted to divide. So let us know whatever the motives behind his division, let us know what was the perspective of our Indian nationalist? The perspective. The Indian nationalist view that such a decision of Lord Curzon was a deliberate attempt to divide Bengal on religious and territorial grounds, and then by disrupt and weaken nationalism in Bengal. This is the perspective of our Indian nationalists. And secondly, they felt that administrative efficiency could have been better if the Oriya spoken people of Odisha, the Hindi spoken people of Bihar, Bengali speaking part of province, that would be divided, then it would be better for administration efficiency. So this was the perspective of our Indian nationalist, and you have to write the region of partition of India and the perspective of Indian nationalist. Let us come to the next section, objectives of assertive nationalist, objectives and methods. What was the main objectives? The main objectives of assertive nationalist was the immediate attainment of Swaraj or complete independence, and not just self-government within British Empire. This was the objective of assertive nationalist. So before I would tell you the methods of assertive nationalist, I would like to acknowledge you who were the assertive nationalists. These assertive nationalists were a group of angry young men within Congress. This is the second phase, a group of angry young men within Congress who had a different outlook on the methods and ideology of the early nationalists. Early nationalists, they were having a method, ideology, but this assertive nationalists, they were having a different outlook in that ideologies and methods, and they advocated active resistance, whereas the early nationalists, they advocated passive resistance. They adopted policy of non-cooperation and resistant to unjust act of the British. So these are the early assertive nationalists of the Congress who were having different outlook in comparison to early nationalists. Let us come to method. So you have to write this one also. Who were early assertive nationalists? Here also you have to make a number. What was the main objectives of the assertive nationalist? Let us come to the methods of assertive nationalist. Assertive nationalist, what were the methods? The methods of assertive nationalist, we are having 4 methods: Swadeshi, boycott, national education, and passive resistance. Assertive nationalists, they believed in using pressure, tactics, and direct action against the unjust act of the British. They adopted the policy of non-cooperation and passive resistance to the unjust act of the British government. They followed a number of methods. Those are the Swadeshi method, boycott method, policy of new education, national education, and passive resistance. So in which way you have to write this one? I am telling you, just in one point you have to write this one. No need to explain in paragraph. One point, only one point. The first one, Swadeshi. Swadeshi, children, you know very well that Swadeshi goods of one's own country goods. To use one's own country good. Swadeshi, that one. So to promote Swadeshi, they organized bonfires of foreign goods like cloth, sugar, picketing of shop, selling imported British goods. Only this one sentence you have to write. Swadeshi, to promote Swadeshi, they organized bonfires of foreign goods like cloth, salt, sugar, picketing of shops, selling imported British goods, all this. Secondly, boycott. One sentence you have to write. They boycotted British goods to encourage Indian industries and to create employment opportunity for the Indians. Only this much you have to write. Second point gone. Third point, national education. The assertive nationalists plan for introduction of national education in India by means of establishing school, colleges, universities, which would be free from the control of British government. During that time, whatever the school, colleges, universities which were running, they were under the control of, under the supremacy of the British government. That's why they plan to introduce such education system which would be free from British control. And the last one, passive resistance. Passive resistance, children, they promoted passive resistance means the policy of non-violent resistance to achieve the goal of Swaraj. It included non-cooperation with the British government and boycott of anything British. Anything British, that one. And they also followed some other methods to inspire the masses. They also adopted the methods of revivalism. Revivalism, to revive the past glory by referring Shivaji festival, Ganpati festival, by referring the story of Chandragupta Maurya, Vikramaditya, Rana Pratap Singh, Shivaji, and inscribe them as our national heroes. And through them they wanted to inspire the masses to rise against the British. They also used self-reliant and self-sacrifice method to achieve their goal. And they aroused the masses by influencing from the sacrifices, suffering of the martyrs. So these are some of the methods the assertive nationalists adopted You remember all these, note down all these, what are the methods, one question will surely come. And we have already discussed the objectives and methods. Now I am going to tell you about the contribution of our freedom fighters like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai. That means Lal Bal Pal, the trio of Indian national movement. Trio. Here no need to explain the life history. Only you have to remember two contribution. This should be 2 marks question, children. Remember, no need to prepare 4 points, 5 points of these numbers. I am explaining 4 or 5 points for you. Out of that, you have to choose which one would be better for you and select 2. That much. So, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Contribution given in your book, Demand for Swaraj, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who is popularly known as the father of assertive nationalist. This is just little introduction. This is not the contribution. So now I am going to explain you about the contribution. Demand for Swaraj. Only one sentence you have to write. No need to explain in an exaggerated version. Okay. So contribution. Tilak was the first nationalist to openly declare the demand of Swaraj. He said, Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. This is the first contribution. Swaraj is my birthright, I shall have it. That means he was the first nationalist who openly declared the demand of Swaraj. Secondly, he was the first nationalist leader who sought close contact with the masses and started akhadas and lathi clubs. Second. Third, he started the Ganpati festival in 1893 and the Shivaji festival in 1895 to propagate nationalist ideas. 4. He started 2 newspapers, Maratha and Kesari, to preach nationalism. He also wrote 2 books, the Gita Rahasya and the Arctic Home of the Vedas. This one would be in the same point, whatever the literary works of Gangadhar Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, that one you have to write in only 1 point. Okay, I have explained you about 4 points, 5 points. One more point also you can remember, he set up a home rule league at Pune in 1916. This one would be one contribution of the Bal Gangadhar Tilak. That one also you can add. And out of these 5, any 2 you have to remember. Then here comes Bipin Chandra Pal. Bipin Chandra Pal, who is known as the father of revolutionary thought in India, popularly known as. Let us know about his contribution. Contribution, here you will get 3 contribution of Bipin Chandra Pal. That 3 contribution, the first as a journalist, what he had done, then as national education, social and economic reforms. So here you have to write as a journalist. He worked for Bengal Public Opinion, the Tribune, New India, only to propagate his brand of nationalism. To propagate that one, he had worked in all these newspapers. Then he supported national education to erode nationalism and for the social progress of the society. For the progress of the society and for the betterment, he supported the national education, because without education, he supported national education. He supported that more and more women should be educated so that they would lead the society in the proper way, and they would be the real reason behind the progress of the society. That's why he supported this national education for women. And thirdly, he wanted to remove social and economic evils from the society by opposing caste system and supporting widow remarriage, by promoting women education and Swadeshi. In such a manner you have to write, otherwise this third point would be a lengthier one, but shortcutly you have to write in one sentence what he wanted: to remove social and economic evils from the society by opposing caste system and supporting widow remarriage, and by promoting women education and Swadeshi. This much. Nationalist leader left here in this chapter is the Lala Lajpat Rai, who is popularly known as the Punjab Kesari or Shere Punjab. Let us come to his contribution. He started a monthly magazine, Young India, to spread the message of the right of the India to attain Swaraj. This is the first contribution. He also founded Punjabi, Vande Mataram, Urdu Daily and People English Weekly. And through these newspapers, he propagated the spirit of nationalism in India. His next contribution is he was associated with the Arya Samaj movement. He opened up several orphanage centers, hospitals, schools. He set up Servants of the People Society for the welfare of the downtrodden people and outcast people. He went abroad to mobilize opinion in favor of India's struggle for freedom, and in 1914 he joined the Ghadar party when he visited America. He joined Ghadar party and in 1914 to mobilize opinion in favor of India. Thank you, children. This is all about your chapter 4. Remember everything, note down everything, take care of yourself, and